guys doing? It's me, ArsenalKelly12, back at it again with another video. With the End of Chapter live event tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Chapter 3 is just around the corner. And what that means, improved graphics due to Fortnite switching over to Unreal Engine 5. And I'll get into what that means for some of you. For the console players, it's a good thing, better graphics. But for PC players, it means you're going to need better graphics card in order to be able to run the full graphics settings. First, before we get started, I want to thank our sponsor, Professor B. Without her, this video would not be possible. And now, back into the video. So for people with worse graphics cards, it means you're going to be suffering a lot of FPS drops and screen stuttering. So you're going to want to be getting new graphics cards. Unfortunately, there's actually an ongoing graphics card shortage, which means buying a graphics card is going to be a little hard for you guys. Personally, I've been trying to buy an RTX 3070 for the past like I'd say year and a half. So it's been quite a while. Unfortunately, I just have not been able to get my hands on one. Whenever I check websites like Best Buy, they're always out of stock. And there's some simple reasons for that. The reason for that is the high demand for these products, the silicon shortage, and worst of all, the scalpers. For those of you who don't know, scalpers are people who they'll buy products that are in high demand and then they'll sell them for a higher price. These kind of like differ from like middlemen because like these prices will be like outrageously marked up. For example, for graphics cards, MSRP value for a 3070 is $500. But these scalpers will be selling 3070s for like upwards of like $1,000, which is 200% markup. So the reason they're able to do this is that they actually use bots. And these bots, they constantly refresh like websites and retailers. So as soon as like stock becomes available, they know and then they buy the stock. And they snatch it up within seconds. So in order to buy a graphics card like at these sites, you have to have insane like speed reflexes. And it's not possible for the average person. Some people are lucky and able to get it, and like they'll spend like hours on these websites constantly refreshing the pages in the hopes that stock becomes available. But obviously a lot of us are spending like too much time with our jobs or school, and so it's kind of impossible for some of us. Another strategy people do is there's some Discord servers you can join that like notifies you when stock goes up. But again, with a lot of the bots, like stock goes out in seconds. So even with these notifications, it's still extremely hard. Got it. So you're probably like wondering like what can be done about scalping. For one, I think Congress should pass legislation like outlawing the use of bots. For those of you who don't know, actually it's illegal to use bots to buy tickets like online. So like if you want to go to like a football game or movie, you know, it's illegal to use bots. And that's actually because a few years ago there was a scandal involving a website called Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster basically they sell tickets. It's a ticket selling site. But what happened was Ticketmaster was actually discovered to basically support scalping, and that they'll like allow scalpers to like buy and manage large numbers of seats. So they're kind of like playing into the scalpers' hands. And the reason they do this is because they would charge the scalpers like a little fee to do this. So it benefited the scalpers and it benefited the company, Ticketmaster. So that was a huge scandal, which is why Congress passed legislation to ban it. But that's just for tickets, and kind of makes sense for them to do the same for like all bots for all mediums of like selling. So like if you want a graphics card, it should be illegal to use bots to buy it. That's just kind of my opinion on the matter. You know, and the scary part is, if Ticketmaster was doing this, who's to say that like current websites, like other retailers nowadays, with tickets aren't, or with graphics cards aren't doing this? Like, so some common like sites to buy from, like Best Buy, Newegg. I mean, chances are they're not doing it. Hopefully they aren't, but there's a chance that they are, like helping scalpers out by doing this. You know, it's a possibility. It's a bit of a stretch, but it's out there. I think someone shot at me. I think that was a bot. Hopefully it was, or a terrible player just standing there if they weren't. Yeah, they were a bot. That was a bot too, but they just freaking blew themselves up. Unfortunately, bots for scalping are pretty advanced, but clearly the bots in this game are just not it. Speaking of advanced bots, they're actually getting better at completing like the CAPTCHAs. It's like when websites have software to detect bots, like you know how you like do a little game where it's like press all the cars or select all the sites with fire hydrants. Well, bots are actually becoming better at doing those. So websites will hopefully be using more advanced CAPTCHAs. What is with all the bots? That guy's clearly a bot. So this gun just is not it from long range. The recoil is just too much. It's insane. Honestly, I'm not a new fan of the combat assault rifle. Obviously in like a pro's hands it's very powerful, but for me it's just not it. Yeah, you bet. And so I'm sure you're wondering, like, what can we as a community do to stop scalping? And honestly, the only way we really do anything is just stop buying from scalpers. The only reason like scalpers are able to do this and thrive is due to the high demand. So if there's no demand for a product, they're not going to scalp. What is with all the bots in my lobby? I got 4 kills and all of them are bots. Okay, what was I saying? Yeah, so if there's no demand for these products, scalpers aren't going to sell them because they're not going to make a profit. So please, just don't buy. Don't. That's a real player. This is my first game on. My aim's a little bit bad today. That's what I was saying. If you stop buying from scalpers, they're not going to be able to do anything. And so slowly but surely, like, the market will set itself, everything will go back to retail price. And yeah, that's basically the takeaway. Just don't buy from scalpers. And hopefully with chapter 3 around the corner, we'll be able to buy graphics cards for everyone. This guy's so annoying. Yeah, PK. Wish I had a big pot, to be honest. You're so bad. That would have been a cool clip. My screen's glitched. It still says that I'm healing. Literally unplayable game. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, that was close. Dude, trust me, today my pre-fires are not it. Well, unfortunately due to the recording this video, it's like my FPS is pretty low, and I'm fully blaming that fight on that. I totally had that in the bag. But in short, don't buy from scalpers, because buying from scalpers enables them to raise the prices further, and you're just supporting them. It's supporting all the scalping. Just don't do it, and eventually it'll return to normal. So I look forward to seeing you guys for the live event tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you guys in chapter 3 with updated settings, and hopefully all of us with new graphics cards. See ya.